We are delighted and excited to have Nirupama Rao Menon, who's been the former Foreign Secretary and Ambassador to the US, China and Sri Lanka. And she's also a music lover, writer and a performer. Thank you for joining us today. Ma'am, we know about your illustrious career as a foreign diplomat. But can you tell us more about your love for literature and music and how that took shape and how that took form?
Well, I grew up as a very avid reader. I was thirsty for information, to listen to stories and to understand about places beyond our shores. And that drew me to literature, and I really fell in love with it as a little child, and with poetry also, and music.
You recently started a foundation called the Music Lovers, called the South Asian Symphony Foundation. Could you tell us a bit more about it?
Yes. Let me begin by telling you something about the fact that during my life as a diplomat and as the Foreign Secretary, I dealt a lot with the relationships we have as India with our neighbors. And by neighbors, I mean the 7 countries that surround us, that together constitute South Asia. I'm talking of Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, the Maldives, Afghanistan. And I had this idea, based on my love of music, that we should look towards forming a symphony orchestra consisting of young South Asians from all across the region. And why do I say orchestra? Because an orchestra helps you to be more cohesive, to work together. Everybody has a little role to play.
Can you tell us about your album? You're launching an album, Pieces My Dream.
I launched an album last December. It was released by Universal Music Group India, and it was produced by Peninsula Studios in Delhi, and it was called Pieces My Dream. And again, it's basically about using, looking at how we should build peace. And I wrote a song called Pieces My Dream, and it was set to music by some friends of mine in Washington, D.C. in the United States. So that became the title song of the album, Pieces My Dream.
How does it feel to perform for music now, after your career as a diplomat and giving speeches and on international platforms?
Yeah.
So
well, I think essentially it's a question of communication, right? And why do we communicate as human beings? Because we want to express our feeling, and we want to express a certain message. We want to talk to other people. Through our message, we would like to influence opinions. So that's essentially what communication is about. And in music and dance or art, whatever the artistic expression is, again, it's communicating. It is communicating something that you feel deeply as part of your emotion, as part of what you see in your experience, what your eye sees. And each eye sees differently, and therefore we speak differently. But if you're able to project in a way that touches a chord, that awakens minds, that brings people closer together, then I think communication, the art of communication is so important. And music is also a means of communication, except that it speaks a universal language. It works like the speed of light almost. No? Immediately when you hear good music, something in you forget differences. You say, we all belong to one human race, and we should be living, coexisting together in a much better way.